Hi Stampin' friends. Tonight we're going to go over the Kangaroo and Company set. It has a variety of different things that you can put in the little Kangaroo mama's pouch. You can put her little baby, but then you can also put little cute things like gifts and flowers and hearts, or even an envelope. And then these tiny, tiny sayings fit on this little, as soon as I pick it up, little die cut that slides down in there. So they make this really easy for us. So I hope you enjoy seeing it tonight with a couple of the Sale-A-Bration papers that we'll be using. But first I wanted to show you real quick just some swaps that I've gotten in recently, and I hope that you enjoy them. They're all with the new spring catalog, or July through June. This is with a Sale-A-Bration set. It's the around the corner set, the little corner pieces. It's a little thank you card. This was made by one of my team members. She's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator who has signed up under me, and you're all welcome to do that if you would like. It has the Sale-A-Bration paper, that's the Rococo Rose, and then she lined it really nicely with a piece of Whisper White and a piece of Night of Navy to kind of finish the inside. But I think that turned out really cute for her. She actually saw this design first on Split Coast Stampers and wanted to make this card for me, so I really appreciated it. Thank you, Leslie. And this pretty card this is by Teresa Howe. It uses the Sale-A-Bration set. This is one of the $100 choices. And it uses the textured background that is like the old world paper. And she colored this beautifully. It has the Hello Friend at the bottom. So you can see how cute this card is. And I think anyone would enjoy getting that. It's perfect for any occasion. Okay, this one is also by Teresa, and it has the Happy Birthday You Sweet Thing saying that we used last week. And she put really pretty amounts of Wink of Stella on her strawberries. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on here, but it's really pretty. And then it has this little detailed edge here. So cute. So that's the other one by Teresa. And then this is a really pretty card made in the Purple Posy. So this is real light, kind of like it's a black raspberry ice cream. And it looks really nice with the Blackberry Bliss as well. This one is by Stacy McCain. This one is by my friend Janice in Midland, Texas, Janice Adams. And she also used the ice cream stamp set, and she used some vellum, and look how nice that looks on there. She used both the designer series paper and the stamp set, and I really like the way the vellum just really makes the actual scoop of ice cream pop. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And then she also made this one, which is, let's see, no, this is also by Stacy. I messed that up. The other one was probably not, but this is a Sale-A-Bration. So she punched this out of the papers and used several papers. This is a great idea for using a variety of papers on one card. It would also be great for using up little scraps that you have. So this one is by my friend Tondra, and she lives in California by the sea. And so she used this beautiful seashell set, and I think that is so pretty. She used some of the gold natural colored ribbon under it, which really adds, and then she used gold on the actual seashells as well. I think that's so pretty. And also, of course, the pretty opalescent paper, the pearlescent paper is really pretty. And then she stamped the inside nice, which is a nice finish. Okay, this is the other one by Tondra, and she used a cool technique here to create this really neat look of cutting. You can see here how that is part of the inside here, and it allows this paper to show, which is really pretty. So that's a cool technique. And she also used that same corner piece, which is very pretty. And then this one is also by Janice, and let me let's see, and I've misplaced a couple of my cards. I apologize to my swappies, those that I swapped with, and that's really pretty there. It says Best Wishes, and again, it has that textured background that we like, and the this really pretty artistic impressions paper and with that same little little hummingbird. So that was another fun card. One thing I wanted to remember to tell you, when you're looking at the online store, if you have any trouble finding, like you're looking for different stamps and sometimes there'll be a whole lot of French sets on there, just go ahead and scroll down and check English, and then you'll end up with getting rid of some of those stamp sets that are in French so that you can find what you're looking for. All right, so I'm ready to get started on this, and the first thing I'm going to say is this is my tip for using this cute little set. I think it's a good idea to go ahead and cut and stamp several of the pieces that you think you might want to use before you begin, because it will allow you, like I might think, oh, I don't need a butterfly. I'm not going to cut that and not going to stamp that and cut it out. But you'll find, I think, as you're using it, more of the little detailed pieces that you have, the more fun you'll have with it, because you'll be ready for, like, oh, I could put something in this corner. I could put a butterfly or 2 butterflies or whatever. So just something to think about as you're stamping with sets that have a lot of small pieces and little details. It's a lot of fun to add those kind of things to your card as you're going. All right, so first I wanted to show you a way to stamp each of these things. I don't know if you saw this from one of my other videos, but I have this heart here that will stamp a heart perfectly on the heart from our Valentine set. It has the beautiful all around the edge leaves and flowers, and the heart on the inside can be stamped like this, and I just traced it so that I could put it on here and put it in the same place every time. Well, building on that, you can also use it because it's centered here, and you can just put an equal amount on both sides of this line, if that makes sense, on the left and the right of this line. And then go up just a little bit from the, because you don't want it right against the edge. You want to go up a little ways from the card here. So you want to put it kind of up high on the card. So maybe let's do it right there, and then still making sure to get it centered left and right, and then use your magnets to hold it down. Okay, so then I'm ready to just add my real red ink on here like this. And the point of this is that you could make a lot of Valentine's cards easily and quickly by just having that on the board and possibly leaving it for the entire Valentine's season. You could scoot it down a little more and stamp the inside of your card. So just something to consider in each season, like with Merry Christmases or Happy Valentine's or whatever card that you're making at the time. Okay, so I've shown you that. And now I just want to show an easy, quick way to do your little kangaroo. So what I did was I just cut out the kangaroo once here, and I didn't waste it. I stamped it also, put it in here again, and stamped it. And then out of whatever paper I have, I can cut a whole bunch more kangaroos out of whatever color I want, white or whichever. And then I'm ready to just add my memento ink and hopefully ink up my little kangaroo. There we go. And then I'm just holding this down, and then I just want to use that to keep it taut in there. I think I did not quite get that right. Just one second. I think it was not quite in the right place. Hold on. Just a bit. I think I might have had it from the edge there. Let me try again. Luckily, I have a couple more here. Okay. Scooch it right in there. Kind of imagine if it looks like it fits. Maybe down just a little and out just a little. There we go. Okay, so now I'm ready to get that going better. Okay. All right, I'm going to try one more time. Get it back up to the top. I'm not really sure what the problem was there before. It just didn't seem like it was in the right place, but I think it was now that I've tried it the other way. And a lot of times when your magnets are on the edge here, you do have to kind of push down in places that are close to them, like on the kangaroo's face, just to get it stuck on nicely. Make sure that it shows really well. Okay. I'll do a little bit more on the ears. Here we go. And you can do this with any of your stamps that have matching dies. It just cutting it out of the middle and popping it on there makes it really easy. And what I did on all these pieces was I went ahead and just cut them out and then stamp them after I was finished. And it actually worked out fairly well on most of the ones that I did. Okay, so now I am ready to get started on my first card. Which, wait just one second, if I can get it. All the pieces. Okay, so my plan on this one was to use my Happy Valentine's Day and to use a little bit of the Flower and Field Designer Series paper and just make a nice little accent area in the front and place my cute little kangaroo on the front. But I wanted to show you that just because you've stamped it in brown doesn't mean that it has to be brown and flat. You can add detail with your blends once you're finished, as long as you've stamped in the Memento ink. It's real easy to just add some cute little things like to her nose and her ears. And if that seems like that isn't dark enough, then what I used first was the light Flirty Flamingo. Maybe the dark Flirty Flamingo would be more what you had in mind. So I just did her little nose, her little cheek, and then the inside of her ear. You could do any place on here that you think it would look cute. So just to kind of add a little more detail to something that would normally just be kind of flat. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this together. First, I'm going to put the basic white layer onto the real red. There we go. Let's get that stuck right on there. Now, of course, these are just normal size layers. This is our main piece, of course, is the 8.5 by 11 paper that's cut in half. And we've cut it down to where it's a good size in half. And then this 5 1/4 layer is on top of it. And then back of that is 5 by 3 3/4. So that way you can get a little bit of edge piece that can be used to cut out sentiments or do some die cutting on your Big Shot or your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with that extra little bit. You can cut a lot of these little pieces out with what's left after you've done this. Okay, so now I'm ready to add this little bit of field on here. Flowers and field, want to make sure you get it right side up, of course. And I went ahead and left it at the 4-inch wide so that it would stick over the sides of the basic white. And now I'm ready to put it on my card. And for that, I am going to use dimensionals just because I think it adds kind of a little extra interest when it's not just all flat. I like to have some flat and some popped up. Okay. Now that I have that finished, I'm just going to stick it down to the card. Okay, so now I'm ready to look at my kangaroo. You can see there is a little pocket in here. And since we're doing Valentine's Day, I think it would be really cute to put the love you much into the pocket. Let's see if I can make this make sense. There's the little piece that's for the sentiment. So it goes down in the pocket. And then we're gonna put a couple of glue dots up here and attach our hearts to the top, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna put it like this, down in here. And then I'm gonna put a couple of glue dots, one on each side. So we want it to be secure. There we go. I don't want to get too close because I want to be able to see that whenever I add my hearts on. So I want to keep it back away from the love. Okay, so then I just want to do it kind of like that and then scoot it down. So then you can see she has an armload of hearts there, but it's actually a pocket load of hearts. And then you can just scooch it up like that and see the love you much. So all I need to do is just color the hearts. And I'm going to use a couple of different reds. Hopefully that will give me the depth that I'm looking for. We'll see. So this first one that I'm using is dark real red. And the other one I have is Dark Poppy Parade. See if I can see much difference in those. Well, not really, can you? Just gonna do the ones that are close to the red with the Poppy Parade, and then I'm gonna do the real reds next. So just kind of like in a line. You could add some other colors here, but the problem is this is really a, there's not any pinks or anything, but if you had like in the next card, we're doing some flowers. So you could certainly do those in several colors of reds and pinks. All right, so then I'll do this one real red. Now some cherry cobbler would have probably looked fine on this, probably would have been pretty cute. And you definitely would have been able to tell it's a different color if you use the dark cherry cobbler especially. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish these up. There we go. You could leave some of these white too, if that looks cute too. Yeah, that could be kind of fun. Probably some interior ones. You could also color around the hearts with maybe blue, and that would give it a more, give it a little more depth on there. All right, so what I'm gonna do with her, what I thought would be cute also, I thought about just putting her on here just kind of flat, but I thought it could be cute to like make it look a little tilted and as if she's sort of mid-hop as she's wishing you happy Valentine's Day. So as you're putting this on the card, you wanna make sure that you don't stick down the piece that is the motion portion. So you just want to put dimensionals on like her head and her belly, her back, and then maybe put a couple small ones on her tail just so that it doesn't get caught on anything. Maybe just one, maybe one on her foot. Let's see, that direction. Okay, so then I'm ready to take these off. So the main thing you're wanting to do is just not get any on the motion piece. Here we are. And so I was wanting to have it kind of rock like she's hopping, but you certainly don't have to do that. Just kind of whatever you feel like. I just thought it was kind of cute. Like she's kind of hopping. All right. So there's our first card. It's a Valentine. Then we're ready to add the next card. All right, so what I did on this one We have done a card recently that was the card with the birthday cake on here. And this basically takes that card base. Now what that is an 8.5 long piece of cardstock, and it's 4 1/4 wide. So when you take that and turn it this way, instead of we had it up and down like this, it was like a flap. And then you attach your pretty paper. This is from the Flower and Field again, a different color, a different piece of paper from it. Put your paper in here. Maybe put your stripe over here. So this stripe paper is 2 3/4 by 4 because it's on, obviously on a regular size card. And then you can take another piece and tuck it in here, and it makes a little flap fold. That's kind of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this together. This is a pretty easy card to do. But it has a lot of interest because of the movement of the card itself. It's kind of fun. And again, remember, if you're putting a card onto a card base, that the most important parts are getting the edges that are not easily seen, getting them lined up nicely. Whereas what's over here is not going to be that noticeable to your recipient. Okay. And then this one, I'm going to put the stripe up. I don't want to mess that up. Be sure your corners have plenty of glue on them. Okay, so there we go with that. So then I'm ready to put my adhesive on the back of this second flap. I'm going to put all 4 sides on this one because this is part of the construction of the card. So then what I'm doing is just getting it evenly spaced left and right and up and down on the card. And then the main thing here also is to make sure that your card doesn't look like it's sagging. Like this piece looks nice and straight. So then I'm ready to put more of the flower paper because we kind of covered up a lot of it. It's a good idea when you're doing this, if you were going to cut, you could use your rectangle die or one of the stitched rectangles and cut out under this the part that doesn't show, because there's no reason to waste that paper. You could use it on another project. Okay, so I'm putting this on here. There we are. So I've got that. So this is how I'm wanting my card to be, but in order to keep it closed, I can also use our little kangaroo and then tuck this piece under here. Then she'll be on this piece, and then you can sign on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and color her real quick. I'm going to use the light soft suede, and I'm going to use the cinnamon cider, the light cinnamon cider. Added my shadowing to this, and I kept it kind of a warm color. When I used the cinnamon cider, it made this kind of a warm looking color. And you can continue to blend this out. That wasn't quite to my liking there, so I can just kind of blend it a little more and add a little more depth as I go. But you can see here that I've put the cinnamon cider all over the whole thing, except where I put the dark Flirty Flamingo for cheeks, ear, and nose. Okay, so now I'm ready to consider what I'm going to put on the inside. So what I thought would be cute for this would be to put flowers. So I want to use, since I've used Flirty Flamingo as my card base, I want to use Flirty Flamingo. And then I want to use a light Flirty Flamingo because there are light colors in my designer series paper here. There's also light. And then I also want to use a dark red because I want to kind of mimic this paper. Not exactly, but kind of. Okay, so I'm going to use the dark red for the centers of the flower. Or no, let's go ahead. Let's use dark red for the centers of the flowers. And then I'm going to do the flowers that kind of look like roses. I'm going to do them in the dark red. There we go. And since there's not any green on this, I'm going to make my my darker of the two pinks. I'm going to use it for the leaves, which is a little strange, but I think it'll look nice just because there's not any green on our card, and I think it will look a little more nicely blended with our paper. So I'm just going to put this on here, the dark Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm going to use the light Flirty Flamingo for our flowers. Okay, so now I'm ready to put my sentiment in the pocket, and I'm going to use the Thanks a Bunch. And I should have saved this to show you. That was super simple to put in here, just the Thanks a Bunch. It was easy, and they're so tiny. It's really simple to use these clear blocks and the clear stamps and just stamp it right on there. I actually didn't have any mistakes on that, so that was cool. Okay, so now I'm ready to use a couple more glue dots. Now you could use anything you wanted to. You could use the Mono Multi green capped glue, or anything that you think would be cute on there. You could also use the small, depending on where you have stamped it, you could probably use the small dimensionals. And I'm just kind of scrunching these up just a little smaller than normal. And then I'm just going to pop that on there, and you probably do need to tell your recipient that it's there so that they'll see, or you can leave it out like this when you send it so that they see the Thanks a Bunch. Okay, I want to get that where they can read the thanks better. Okay, there we are. So there you can see it's just tucked in, and it's kind of cute how it looks with our little kangaroo. Okay, so now I've done that part. And I'm ready to put her on here, which I've got this kind of upside down. I got to get things how I want it for myself. So I need to put some dimensionals on here. Again, remembering not to put anything on our motion piece. Put it on up here. And I want to kind of imagine that I'm not going to put anything past a line on the card, wherever I'm going to put it, that it's not going to stick the two sides of the card together. We don't want that to happen. Because all we're going to try to do is just have it tuck under. Okay, so now I am ready to line this up and just kind of look and see that you have it about in the right place. Make sure nothing is on that side, and it doesn't look like it is. So I've just kept it to my, looking at it, the right-hand side of the kangaroo. So you can see there it holds the card together. So you'll just pop that up to open the card. You could line this in a lighter color. That would look really pretty too. And just tuck that under there. And then I can imagine also putting some little details up here, or adding a couple other things too. Then I wanted to show you real quickly, I'm not going to color it this way because I'm going to use it on a differently colored card. But if you wanted to use the Just a Note and put this here, You remember our little resin hearts. They are adorable in the heart that is on the envelope. So you can see that you can just tuck that on there, and I feel like they were designed for that. If you had, like, say, a blue envelope, it would be really cute to use the white hearts too. So I didn't want you to miss out on seeing that because I think that is really sweet. Okay, so I'm going to take that one off just because I wanted to put the red one because it really shows up on the white. Okay, so for my next card, this is going to be my last one. I thought it would be nice to use this Paper Blooms Sale-A-Bration paper choice. So, just going to go ahead, I'm just going to mount it normally. It's gorgeous on this side as well. But I thought this one could be really cute for a baby card or a birthday card or a variety of different cards. And I'm just going to go ahead and use some dimensionals to pop this up. There we go. There we go. And I'm putting it on Rococo Rose. There we are. And let's see here. I wanted to use another color of paper, but I guess I didn't do that. Sorry about that. So what I was thinking about this, as long as you use some light pink and maybe leave it for her nose and her cheek and her ear, I think that kind of blends it nicely together. And then on this one, I was also thinking it could be really cute to use lighter colors. For instance, to use the crumb cake markers. And this one is the light crumb cake. And so I'll put that on the belly part. Okay, now you can see how I colored this in cool colors. I'm ready to add the little just a note. And I could certainly color it and put on a cute little party hat. That would be super sweet. And I could also put this heart and make this even bigger on here if I prefer. And I could put presents in the little pocket. That would be adorable as well. And I could add some little butterflies. That would also be sweet. So you can see that the choices are endless on here of what to put together. Let me find this. Pop this on here. Oops, stuck it on my fingernail. There we are. All right. Then I think that it would be really pretty to color this with one of my Seaside Spray colors. I think maybe the dark Seaside Spray would be pretty. Trying to make it look like it's folded right there so that those inside pieces there are a little darker. And then I'm just going to put my white on, my little white heart for dimension. Try to get it centered on there. And then I'm ready to just add it here. Yeah, and then you can imagine putting it on here and maybe adding some little something like I'm thinking of you. It has the larger hello baby and the just stopping by to say hi. And it'd be really cute to put the hello inside on that one, just stopping by to say hi, and then have it pull up and it says hello. And then happy for you, some things like that would be cute to punch out and put along the bottom, maybe with a ribbon across it. So that's just one other idea. I'll go ahead and recap. We did the Valentine's Day kangaroo, and then we did this pretty floral kangaroo with the cool fun fold that just the kangaroo kind of holds the whole card together. So I think there are lots of choices in the way. We didn't even just barely begin all the ways that we could use this stamp set. I thank you for watching and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.